to sit and listen. I just want to sit and listen.
Well, you can't.
Look at that.
Get to work.
Burt Brion Band. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Man.
Can I just say something here?
I was drifting.
First of all, Gary Santopietro on guitar, one of the best guitarists in the entire world. I've played with him.
Okay.
Trace Sojourn Hodgins, one of the best drummers in the world.
I played with him.
In my band.
Wow.
At Nathan Brown Bass right there. I've played with him.
Yeah, baby.
The most talented bass player next to my bass player, James East. And Burt Brion, of course, I played with him.
What?
Best keyboarder in the city. Burt,
nice.
welcome, man. Good to see you.
Wow, it's good to see you. Great to be here. Thanks for having us.
How have you survived during COVID with all this music stuff not being able to happen?
Well, a lot of mental stress for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm a school teacher by trade, so I've got that.
Yeah.
So doing a lot of writing and talking to the fellas on the phone.
Yeah.
Recording.
Yeah. Still sounds great.
Those guys are real musicians. Those guys aren't
Can
like.
you just give us like 30 more seconds of something? Only because it was so. I could just spend the next 18 minutes.
Now, you both played with a couple members. I haven't, so today's my day, baby. I'm saying I'm going to get up there with you. I'll be jamming.
You got
with
something
this
Russ
band.
can sing to?
Uh-huh.
Here we
Let's
go.
try this.
Here we go.
Oh. Yeah, here we go.
All right.
Rusty Nailz with the Burt Brion Band. Hey guys, we'll be with us all day today. Thanks for coming down. And,
I'm looking forward to today's show.
Well, I am too, because we have an all-star cast. First of all, a real radio guy.
Yes.
Cabana Boy Geoff Allen from Channel 933, who he and I have been in the same building for 20 some odd years together.
I've known
because
him.
he's FM and I'm AM. I think we said like 6 words. Hey, dude. Hey, great to see you. And that's it.
I've known him for a couple of decades. As a matter of fact, I hope we tell the story. One time I had to kick him out of one of our radio station events.
You told this story. Is this the guy?
Back in the 90s. That's the guy.
Is this the bumper sticker guy?
That's the bumper sticker guy.
Was he putting Trump stickers on Biden fans?
You know what? He was
rallies?
doing that.
Something
He was
somehow.
doing that a couple decades ago.
Yeah.
And I can't
Way
wait
ahead
to.
of his-
He's like an innovator. He's an icon in radio.
You know who else we have?
Yes, I do.
Big name.
Yes.
Big name.
A lot of letters or just a big name?
First lady.
The First Lady is here. Katherine Faulconer.
Yeah.
I consider her a friend.
Yeah.
She doesn't know me, but which is kind of weird.
On Facebook.
But-
Yeah, you're friends.
But One San Diego is one of the pets that she does. It was a great organization here in San Diego.
I've seen her speak in an event once, and I remember saying to myself, "Why isn't she the mayor?"
Right.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Do we have to cut that out of the show?
No, we'll get that.
Oh, look, Kevin Faulkner's calling me.
Oh, Kevin,
Let me see.
yeah.
How interesting is that?
She's very, very intelligent, and
Yeah.
can't wait to talk with her.
She is the closest thing I have to a sister. And she has kept me accountable. in my
So
personal
you
life.
don't have an actual sister?
No, I don't. She doesn't. Again, I don't know her. She doesn't know me, but still, I feel very close.
I have two sisters.
And we have a mystery guest.
Do we have a mystery yet?
As a matter of fact, if
Are
you
they
want,
currently holding office?
We have a mystery guest?
We have a mystery guest.
Do
All right.
they-
This
all right.
is where Sully, Russ,
right.
you guys are going to ask the mystery guest a yes or no question.
Okay, here we
Okay.
go. Ready?
And
Bring it
you
up.
guys are going to guess the mystery guest. Mystery guest. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Sully and Rusty Nailz,
Yeah.
they're going to ask you yes or no questions until they guess who you are. I'll give you a hint. This person is probably the most talented person I've known forever. This person is
He's
great.
playing guitar.
Well, there's a hint.
All right.
Plays guitar.
I got a question. So, are you a local musician only, or do you have a national footprint also?
Well, I wash my feet daily in Nashville, Tennessee, but I used to live in San Diego for many years.
So he's a real.
Okay.
So if he's in
Sounds
Nashville,
cool.
if he's in Nashville, he's a real musician.
I'm
I
going to
can
get
tell you
closer to an age thing because there's a lot of young kids that are playing, I don't know, and older people. Have you ever had a Big Mac out of a styrofoam box?
Right now.
It's an old one. Then.
Sully, is that age?
Your turn.
Oh yeah, because you know who it is, don't
Yeah.
you? Have you ever played at what is now called Qualcomm Stadium, which was once called the Murph at San
Right.
Diego? Have you played at San Diego Stadium before?
Which will soon be dust.
Which will soon be dust.
I sang the national anthem there before the Padres played the Atlanta Braves to get into the World Series.
NLCS.
in
Wow.
I know who it is. I know exactly who it is.
1998.
I know who it is.
Is it Roseanne Barr?
No.
Sully, yes.
It's the guy from the Rug Burn, Steve Poltz.
Steve
That's
Polk?
the dude, Steve
Oh, man.
Poltz.
Ah,
I remember. That was what told me, because I was at the
Look
game.
at
There he is.
What up,
Oh,
Steve?
man.
Wow, dude.
that was great.
That was awesome.
Perhaps the coolest guy in San Diego music. And
Wow.
ever since the Rug Burns, we used to play a 91X, my favorite song, Hitchhiker Joe, which today, I don't know if we'd get away with playing it, but you know, Hitchhiker Joe. Do you remember
If you
coming down
play
the
some
station and
Hitchhiker
playing
Joe,
it?
Steve, that would be fantastic.
Let's hear
So
it.
the song, actually, I'm in San Diego right now, hence the surfboard behind me.
Got it.
I'm out here to visit my dad. I'm going to stay out here for a little while. But Hitchhiker Joe went. I'll just do the chorus.
Keep going.
I'll sing it. Don't pick up Hitchhiker Joe.
Yeah.
He'll slit your throat. He'll cut off your big toe. I tell you, he'll make you smile from ear to ear. Go like you in a trunk. 99 years down.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Now, whenever I go to the A on that, I'm secretly flipping off the audience.
Yeah, we noticed.
I can't play an A7.
Hey, Steve, what are you doing now? In fact, I did see him at the virtual San Diego Music Awards.
Right.
Did I mention I was
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Did I mention that?
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Hold on,
Just
here
give me
comes
one-
the trophy.
Hold on.
A moment,
Hold
Poltz.
on, I got it. Okay, yeah. hang
Here
on a
it
second.
comes.
Oh, yeah. I just want to set this here. So, yeah, we were at the San Diego Music Awards this
Yeah.
year together, and Trace and I had won Best Live Band this year.
Yeah.
Did I mention that yet?
Well,
A couple times.
that was cool.
Okay, excuse me.
Did you write a song?
Has Tommy mentioned the Hall of Fame thing yet?
Oh, wait, hold on.
We have a mystery.
I got
guest.
this.
But oh yeah, there's that award. How about teaming up with Jewel? Let's talk about that.
How did that whole thing come about?
Man,
That came about from Poway, California, a place called Java Joe's. And I think Rusty Nailz used to come in there late at night and play poker with us at like 2 in the morning because Java Joe would close it down and we'd all play poker in our pajamas and gamble and drink whiskey back in the days, in the good old days.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to go on tour with Rusty Nailz and play comedy shows, but I ended up writing a song with Jewel that I'll just do the beginning of it. It went.
wow.
And this is its 25th anniversary, believe it or not.
My goodness.
It just started. Dreams last so long, even after you're gone. And I know that you love me, and soon I know you will see. You were meant for me, and I was meant for you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Hey, wait,
amazing. Wow.
Steve wants to play a new song.
All
But
right.
before that, I want to ask Steve a question. You were
Yeah.
meant for me, 25 years.
Yeah.
Every couple of months, every quarter, do you go to the mailbox and just get it and see a check and go, oh my gosh, that song is still making me some money?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, every 2 months I get a check for $2.2 million.
Sure.
And I just buy more houses and give them away. In fact, right now we'd like to give away a house to the 5th caller.
Yes, and 5 Teslas if you register to vote.
But he wrote a song called Quarantine Blues.
You got the quarantine blues, buddy?
Well, yeah, I moved out to San Diego and I have this landlord here. I rented a little apartment and the guy that lives next door to me kept going, have you written a quarantine song yet? Have you written a quarantine song yet? And I was like, dude, you write a quarantine song if it's so freaking easy. It's not that easy to do. So he was bugging me. When have you written your quarantine song? Are you going to write your quarantine song? So I finally wrote the quarantine song, and this is called Quarantine Blues. It just was released. It's out everywhere on iTunes, Spotify. It's even underneath Rusty Nailz' pillow. It is everywhere. It's like Santa Claus, wherever you go. Dude, while I'm in town, Rusty, we are getting a burrito together, and we're going to paddle out and go surfing.
I know, because I need to learn how to use a looper from the best one-man show in the world. This guy, man.
Don't let that happen, because it means to be playing more. Actually, well, we should have him in studio as long as he's in San Diego.
I think so. Well, let's do the blues song real
All right,
quick.
let's hear it. Let's hear the Quarantine Blues.
Yeah.
Russ, I remember one time I was at a Beat Farmers show, and me and Rusty Nailz both vomited side by side.
You right there?
In toilets at the belly.
Do you know,
I believe I held your hair back.
Yeah.
That's the kind of friend.
did.
Yeah, that's the kind of friend I am.
do you know what I call that?
What?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. All right, Quarantine Blues. Knock it out.
All right, this is what's happened to me. I baked 100 loaves of bread, I fell down on my head, I vacuumed till I sweated, ate food that I regretted. I sat near the fire wearing questionable attire. Oh yeah. My hair's unruly and I learned to make tabbouleh. I felt kind of groovy, watched every single movie. You know I've been depressed and never even got dressed. I was feeling full of pity, so I joined a subcommittee. I learned the word abrogation, tried to find a new vocation, searched a whole skyscraper trying to steal some toilet paper, learned to brush my teeth with bleach. I craved for a vaccine, I learned about hydroxychloroquine,
Yeah.
I was sitting on the toilet trying to get some unemployment. I stayed in the bathroom for a meeting on Zoom, forgot I wasn't wearing pants. I did a little dance, I was jiggling down below and everybody got a freak show.
There he goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Poltz.
Now we got to get the whole song on Spotify.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Poltz. Steve Poltz.
As he fades into the...
Oh my God.
Man.
I
I bet we could bring him up during the show. He'll still be playing it.
We'll just talk like this.
It's a 1 hour song. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so Steve Poltz, anyway, been around
Yeah,
forever.
but I just don't care. Maybe
And
I should give myself a shave. He accidentally got a COVID kiss. I think I need an exorcist. Hell!
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Poltz.
There it is
Steve
again.
Poltz.
Steve Poltz, everyone.
Okay.
All right.
I got the mask on all day. Couldn't get away. Yeah.
Hey, can we get to our guest?
Yes.
I want to talk.
I want to introduce him.
All right,
Okay.
you introduce him.
You know what? This guy is a radio veteran. He's one of the nicest guys in town, but he started in radio at a time when we had a thing called Radio Wars.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cabana Boy Geoff Allen.
Cabana Boy.
Right there.
See, dude. How are you, man?
Apparently, Palapa Boy was taken. There we go. It's the only joke I
Geoff
had.
Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, Geoff, how long have you been in radio?
I started in 1990.
1990.
Yeah, at Q106 back in the day.
Yeah.
The original Q106.
Yeah.
Better Mix Music, that one.
Yeah.
And then went from there, because back in the day, you'd get fired, and you
Sure.
weren't in radio unless you got fired.
Still
Yeah.
happens, yeah.
Then went to Z90, B100. Then I went out of town to El Centro, to Q96. Then came back as at KCBQ. And then got the job at Channel 933.
I love
Day one.
the
Wow. So wait a minute. Channel 933 since day one,
Since day one, 1996.
Wow.
and you're still on the air on Channel 933.
Still on the air, luckily.
That's-
Thank
that's-
God.
How did you?
That's so
How
cool.
did you get the first? I mean, what was the very first thing?
Was it
Like,
happen to
how-
be there type thing?
Fill the application. I want to be a radio guy. How did it all start?
Well, actually, I used to call in Chio, the night guy at Q106 back in the day. So I always wanted to be in radio. So I got to be at Palomar College and got to be on the radio there. And then I'd call in, talk to Chio and go, hey, how's it going? And we just started talking back and forth. And then he said, oh, I have this gig that's coming up. You want to come out with me? And I went to one of the colleges that he was going to.
Yeah.
Came back to the radio station. He introduced me to the promotions people, and then I got a job.
It happens.
Yeah.
And did you start on air or did you start in promotions?
Starting promotions.
Everybody started in promotions.
Yeah, started in promotions.
I didn't.
I didn't either.
Because they're always there,
But all the
and then
famous
when the
guys, all the
DJ
guys that
doesn't,
actually made it in radio did.
when the DJ doesn't show up, promotions people are always there, and
Yeah.
they just go get on the air.
Yeah, and then you start running the board, and then get a chance to be on the air. We used to do street patrols and park patrols at night.
Speaking of street patrols, all right, back in, I guess this would have been 1997, 98, we were at Star 100.7 and we did a thing called Whirl Till You Hurl, which was at Belmont Park at the roller coaster. And it was a huge promotion. We gave away cars and everything. But we had Star 100.7, Jeff and Jared banners all over the roller coaster. They were all over the place. And then when I went outside to take a break, all of a sudden I see Channel 933 stickers in its place, covering up Star 100.7.
Who could have done that?
And I had to figure out what was going on because all of a sudden there were no more signs of Star 100.7, and it looked like a Channel 933 segment, which upset us. And then when I investigated it, this man was the culprit. But it was called Radio Wars back then.
Yes,
and,
but the icing on the cake on that was we blew up a bunch of Channel 933 balloons and gave them out to kids. So then they were walking through the park with
for the
Channel
children.
9. Yeah,
that's right.
Take a balloon from a kid.
Now, I understand you've written a coronavirus blues song.
No, he has.
Oh no, he's not him.
Stay right
there. Wrong guess.
Stay right there because we're going to be talking to more to Cabana Boy Geoff in the meantime.
Yes.
Cabana Boy.
You never did the Storm, did you? Remember that?
Yeah.
Art Good, The Storm.
I told you.
Cabana Boy Geoff's our guest today.
Yes.
We're on the air coming up.
It's Boyer from the DSC, and you are watching On the Air with Sully, Little Tommy, the Nationwide National Radio Hall of Fame. Right here, look at this. And Russ Nailz, who's some guy who's funny.
I gotta do everything that I gotta do, and it'll be alright. More walk, less talking, never giving up the fight. 'Cause I gotta see every miracle promised to me. A beautiful
On the Air with Sully, Little Tommy, and Rusty Nailz. What a great band.
Burt Brion.
What a great band.
Burt Brion, Trace Hodgins, Nate Brown, and my good buddy Gary Santopietro. If you get a chance to go look at these guys on social media, you should. Individually, they're fantastic. I see you brought your.
Yeah, we missed an opportunity. I know you were talking about the glass sculpture here, which is very nice, and the French twisted horn, but who's got a couple of these gals on his shelf? Oh, where'd you have that one, mate?
I just thought I'd bring it up.
I'll put that back in the prime spot there, but that's one of those Emmy awards, which mean nothing. Okay, thank you.
It doesn't.
So we're here with iHeartRadio's Jeff Allen. Now, Jeff, how are you getting through the pandemic?
It's been a challenge. Definitely, we had to furlough most of our staff. We had a couple staff members that stayed around, so they've been a big help. It's all about your staff helping you out, and we're starting to do a couple events here and there, like socially distanced and all that. But it's going to be tough for the next couple months, and then hopefully we'll get through it, and then start getting some events and concerts and things.
We always had the Lysol anyway for the next DJ's shift, but
that's true.
Even more important, I'm sure.
Now, do you think concerts are coming back?
I think by the end of next year, maybe the summer.
Well, let me ask you.
It all depends on the vaccine.
You hear that, guys?
Well, wait a second though. Here's my question, because I sure hope so. Because I miss playing out a ton. Here's the other thing. But even though, let's say we get a vaccine.
Yep.
And let's say that everything's open and we can start going back to big venues and Belly Up and the Petco Park and everything.
Yeah.
Do you think people will still go, is my question. I mean, you're a tip of the spear. You're talking to listeners every day. You think people will be comfortable enough to go next year?
I think half and half. Half will, because they want to get out of the house, they want to do something normal, and they want to go see a concert and just get the relief. Because a lot of people are losing their jobs, and that's just something to get their mind off of everyday life.
Sure.
And they want to go do that.
And some will be like this, and some will
which is
be
cool.
dancing
Well, I mean,
naked.
I don't know. I sort of feel like Did you see the picture in the very beginning of the pandemic where they had 6-foot circles drawn on some park in New York and they were like 10 feet apart?
Right.
I think they could have been doing that all along.
Yeah.
I mean, like outside like that, why wouldn't you? I mean, somebody took a chalk line from the baseball thing and made these circles that looked like little picnic spots, and they literally were 12 feet apart, and everybody sort of sat in their little spot. And I think it looked like a big Lego set out in the middle of the park. I think they could have done that earlier, or I think people would have been comfortable with that anyway. Don't you think?
Yeah, but everybody got freaked out right off the bat.
Yeah.
So at first, everyone didn't know what was going on. Like, okay, well, is this real? Is this big?
Yeah.
And then you slowly started having the cancellations of the events, and then it was like, oh wait.
How did that affect your guys?
real big.
How did that affect your promotions? Because you guys on the FM side are all about the next thing, right?
yeah.
I mean, not only you're playing music, but you're trying to get people engaged by going out to do stuff, right?
Well, we were at a happy hour event for Shamrock, and we had another one scheduled the next day, and all of a sudden that night came up, and it's canceled, and that kind of trickled everything in San Diego at that point.
Yeah, that's the bad green deal.
Yeah.
Now,
St. Patrick's Day.
I was watching the Padres play St. Louis, and when the guy was up to bat, right behind him was you.
Yeah, how'd you do that?
How did that happen?
You're a
That's really
cutout.
cool.
You're a cutout.
They did that for all the DJs. It wasn't just me.
Well, not all of them.
But you might have got a prime spot, though. Someone,
The Padres. Thank you, the Padres, because that was pretty awesome that they did that.
Speaking of DJs, when this whole thing came out, when COVID came out, did you have to broadcast from home at all, or were you in the studio the entire time?
I've been in the studio the whole time. Most of the DJs have been at
in
home
the studio?
broadcasting.
Oh, from home.
At the very beginning, morning shows were even at home.
Yeah.
But at our station, morning shows are there, and then pretty much everybody else.
Because you guys
is
are a little
gone.
family and stuff like that. Those things are little pods.
And I've
right?
been in there ever since doing my show, and then because of promotions as well.
And
You can kind of tell because the audio from home is just different. It's like, hey, I'm in my kitchen, and welcome to the morning.
Excuse me,
No, it's like-
pardon me. You cannot tell that I'm at home every morning on COVID.
Well, you're different. You've invested in a quality mic system, which is really
Every other morning show has the same exact mics that I use.
Yeah. But not from home. They don't. Or a Zoom call. You ever get the news people on the today's weather is going to be shut up. I know what the weather is. It's San Diego.
So you were on Channel 933 day one.
Day one.
And that's 1996?
1996,
It's
yeah.
2020, and you can still be heard on Channel 933. When is your shift?
I do overnights on Channel 933, and then weekends, and then I'm on Star 94.1 weekends and fill-in.
What people don't know is that iHeartRadio owns all those stations.
Yeah.
So you're in the
Well,
same.
that's
You
right.
walk down the hall, or do you do them all from the same
I
place?
do it all from the same.
You use a different voice on the other station.
Exactly.
Back in the day, I used to try to be a little bit younger on Channel 93, and now it's just you kind of be yourself.
Jeff, before we let you out of here, how do people follow you on Instagram and all that? Would you rather have them follow you the stations or you personally, or what? How do you want people to do it?
At Cabana Boy Geoff.
At Cabana Boy
and
Geoff.
I spell it Geoff.
Oh, Geoff.
Yes.
All right. And real quick,
Like Jeffrey the Giraffe, but he's no longer around.
no, toys aren't us.
So you got a beautiful family. You got a beautiful family. Your wife Tina and your
yes.
kids probably
Diane
watching.
Preston. Yeah.
That's cool.
And Tina, doesn't Tina work for the station too?
Yes.
She's a
That's
boss.
The best thing that
She's
happened
the
to me at
boss.
the radio station is I did meet my wife.
You met her there?
Oh, that's how.
Yeah, right on.
Wow. Hey, real quick, let's check with Steve Poltz, see if he's.
Yeah.
I high five the little kid.
Could go on.
Jerry Garcia made my own tortillas.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, good to have you here on the show.
Thank
Come
you for
back
having me.
again.
Jeff, thanks a lot.
Jeff Allen.
Right on.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Cabana Boy.
Burt, give us a little love before we get out of here. Come on, play
I want
something.
more love. Fast love.
Burt Brion Band on the air.
Is that the song?
That's not that
Did I
song.
mess it up?
Burt Brion Band, fantastic. You can't help yourself, can you?
I can't.
I know.
They're so good. We've had so much music.
I know. Hey, Burt, would you call that easy listening yacht rock these days? What would you call that?
Yeah.
Would that be would that be offensive if I call it yacht rock?
No.
I think it's great yacht because do you know who else loves yacht rock?
Who's that?
Our next guest, Katherine
Oh,
Faulconer.
good segue,
You
Mr. Sully.
freaking love yacht rock.
Love yacht rock.
You do, because what people don't know about the First Lady is that she loves going on vacation on beaches and stuff. I mean, we're not going to find you in Aspen.
No.
We're not going to find you in Big Bear.
No.
We're going to find you on the beach somewhere.
Correct.
Listening to yacht rock. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest, the First Lady, Katherine Faulconer.
Yes. I'm kind of nervous.
You're nervous?
She's a big deal.
I'm sitting up a little straighter.
I am too. But you know,
I'm sitting up a little straighter.
Every
because
time
of
I
this.
see Katherine Faulconer, it's like this: nothing, and I just walk by
Oh, like you, yeah.
as if I did something.
Yeah.
Do you get that from the
You
man?
do a lot of stuff, though.
a lot of stuff
I'm guilty.
you want to walk away from, definitely. Well, my co-star on a training film from years ago, this
That-
young lady.
yes.
You guys were on film together?
Oh, yeah.
Was it commercial?
It was I was working at the Doubletree Hotel. This is probably 92.
Oh, way, yeah. Even
Three,
perhaps,
something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And they hired a professional actor
Yeah.
to do the in-room video.
Who was
That-
it?
It was. That's
one,
what he
Tom.
got his Emmy for.
Yeah, yeah.
So they hired him as the professional actor, and the general manager's like, Katherine, we'd like you to be in as well. So
Wow.
we were, when you go in the room and it talks about the hotel and all the things to do,
Yeah.
that was Rusty and I.
Wow. How did you meet the First Lady? Was it
Through KUSI and just being a fan of the mayor
Yeah.
and his wife. And I saw her speak somewhere. And I texted her husband, the mayor, and I said, hey,
Of course
she
you
should
have
be
his
the
phone
mayor.
number.
Yes.
I said, your wife should be the mayor. And he started laughing. But I have a question for you. How's your house hunting going in Sacramento?
Wow. That's exactly
See
right.
what he did there.
I can honestly say I have never been to Sacramento. So.
Well, you're going, lady.
Well, the
Wait, I
rumor
thought it was
is,
my joke.
after Mayor Faulconer, after it's over,
You mean after he terms out?
Yeah, after he
I wouldn't
terms
say
out.
after it's over. It sounds
it's over.
after
When
it's
they throw
over.
him out, yes.
Yeah.
which is when?
December 10th.
Not that you're counting the days.
Not that we
He has to have
You
a
see how
press
fast she
conference.
answered that?
December
for?
10th.
I'm assuming you have
1:30.
a press conference. You're going to be by his side. Your family's by his side, behind him, and he's going to say, "I'm running for mayor. I'm running for governor."
And this is what Katherine has to say about that. Are you allowed to say anything? Can you say anything? Can you say anything on this show about that? Are you allowed to say anything?
The rumor that he's running
there
for
a
I
governor.
think that he's seriously considering it,
Good.
and I'll leave it at that.
We seriously need him.
Yes.
No kidding. My goodness.
And again, I remember
From your
Kay
mouth to
Falk
God's
back,
ears, we need Kevin Faulconer as our governor. That would be
Yes.
fantastic.
Yes.
back at San Diego State. I was the comedian that his frat hired to come in and entertain the group. So I've known him,
he's a
both
big-
of them for
yeah,
years.
exactly.
And yes, I'm so happy that he is considering staying in because we need a guy like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. I met Katherine through talk radio, and I don't know who was a bigger fan. Katherine, I don't think Katherine was a fan. I think I ignored her. You know, like most talk radio, you hate the guy first, and then you tend to like him. But it was
There
your
you guys-
daughter.
there you are.
'Cause you used to pick up your daughter Lauren from school, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
At 3:05 every day, or
Yes.
whenever you go pick up your kids from school. It's, I don't know how old was she back then. Was she in junior high or was she in
Oh,
elementary
no,
school?
no. She was in elementary school.
Yeah, and they would listen.
Listen to you.
Mother of the Year would be listening to talk radio on the.
Because I loved all of his coverage of Filner. And so sometimes I'd have to turn around to Lauren and say, okay, close your ears.
We're talking about a headlock. All right.
But then at one event, we finally, and actually, Lauren walked up to me and said, "You sound different. Do you do something to your voice?" And then here comes Mom behind her. I realized I put two and two together, and ever since then, it's been.
When I was in high school, I took a girl named Caroline Silva to the prom, but you may know her as Mrs. Naplin. And,
Yes.
Who's Mrs. Naplin?
I think
That was Lauren's teacher.
yes,
Wow.
yes.
What?
She's an elementary
The
teacher.
depths of Tommy Sublime's Little Black Book.
But I have a bunch of
goodness.
questions when we talk after the break. I want to know how you met your husband. You know, what kind of music you listen to.
And let's check in real quick. Steve Polch
Yeah,
is
let's
still
check in
doing
with
the.
Steve real quick.
Found a new cake mix. I checked my body for ticks. Got run over by a bus in a tornado. Almost killed. So yeah.
There he is. Okay, he's still singing.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
But yeah, music-wise, you got to have a favorite genre.
I know what her
But,
music is.
What is it?
I know exactly what
Is
her
it
music
just totally
because
yacht
what her
rock?
favorite music is,
Yeah.
and what the mayor's favorite music is, don't necessarily go together. but I can tell you that there isn't a single person in this band. Well, maybe Gary, and maybe I'm sure. You know, me and Burt couldn't play it.
Right.
But it rhymes with Kenny Chesney.
So like Jimmy and Kenny.
Jimmy
Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett and Kenny
Chesney.
Chesney. Yeah, I
You
mean,
see a theme there?
Yeah,
I do. I see a yacht rock, hammock
It's yacht rock, hammock rock thing. I
After
love
the
it.
break, I want to talk to Katherine Faulconer about meeting Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones, because I've seen a photo of you guys.
It wasn't Mick that's the story, though, is it? There's a bigger story. All right. Bert, play us a little Kenny Chesney, would you? Okay, never mind.
It's a mystery.
Stand by.
He came from somewhere back from a long ago. The sentimental fool don't see trying hard to recreate what yet to be created. Once in a life, he watches her smile for this nostalgic tale. Never knowing near what she wanted to say, only to realize never really was.
Hey, it's on the air. We're on the air.
That makes sense.
Burt Brion Band and First Lady Katherine Faulconer. You know, so that was it. We showed a picture before the break of you and the mayor and the Rolling Stones.
OMG.
Okay, so
That is pretty cool.
how did that day start? I mean,
Look
like
at
you
that.
knew you were gonna go to Rolling Stone concert, you knew you were gonna Petco. Like, how does that whole thing go for you guys? Like, do you
Well, it's
start?
all planned in advance.
But who does that? Do you make the call?
No.
Calling on behalf of the mayor.
Yes. No. He has people that do
But
that.
somebody will call the whoever, the
Yeah.
promoter, or
Oh, yeah.
someone
Yeah.
say, hey, the mayor of San Diego and the first lady would like to say hi.
Yes.
And then there's somebody over there at the band has to say, yeah.
Yeah.
You would know how to do this. This is what you do. How does that work?
Of the
You
year.
know
Yeah,
what?
Mr. Producer, how does this work?
I'd like to know, because I've been trying to meet Paul McCartney. You know, I have met the Stones, but I didn't take a photo like that.
No.
Can you tell us about that? Where was it? Was it at Petco
It was
Park?
at Petco, and Kevin is much more of a Stones fan than me, and I was actually going to pass.
What?
And he's like, you cannot pass, you cannot
Yeah.
pass, you have to see this band. And I was like, okay. So I went, thank God I went.
Yeah.
I've had an amazing time. But they just, right before the show, they take us into, kind of the bowels of Petco,
Right.
and it's all like a curtained off area. And so we're told, and we were the only people that got to meet him. I think we were the only ones.
Right.
There might have been one other
that's what I
couple.
hear.
And so we walk into this little room with 4 curtains on it that's just made,
Right.
A
couple of poles and some curtains.
Exactly, and then we're just told to stand there, and we were standing there, and all of a sudden, whole freaking band walks in, and
What did they say?
Well, Keith Richards asked Kevin if he could kiss me,
Of course.
Keith Richards?
and he did. On the cheek,
Oh,
on
right,
the
of
cheek.
course, yeah.
Wait, but what were his words? How did he say that?
Can I kiss
Mayor,
you?
do you mind if I kiss your wife?
No, that was the other one. It was Keith Richards.
First of all, how did we get sound of Keith Richards? That was just amazing impersonation.
Yeah, it was. So was it? Were they exactly as you imagined? Or were they all little tiny
were
people? Or are they so
no,
big,
they
or-
were all.
No.
You can see.
Yeah, show the
I'm-
picture again.
I'm 5'10", Kevin's 6'3", so
Yeah.
they're, they're all decent, and they looked a lot younger than I thought they would.
Really?
Like they looked pretty good in person.
Right.
Yeah.
Except
And they
they,
were, and they were super nice.
So-
I mean,
yeah.
so nice.
And how long do you get to hang for?
5 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
What about
Chat
Mick?
with him about
Yeah.
songs and
Mick?
stuff, and yeah, Mick
Huh?
and
What did Mick say?
It's such a blur. I mean, I don't remember.
Wow.
Well, how about segue over to Paul McCartney? You met him.
We met him when he was at Petco as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And very nice.
Sir Paul.
We didn't get a picture because Paul McCartney has to approve every picture that's distributed. So even though we got a picture with him,
I kinda do
He
that.
must have been closing his eyes or
Tommy
something.
does
I don't
that.
know. But,
Right, he blinked.
Tommy does that.
So we
Yeah,
never
yeah.
got a picture with him, but we were there.
Who would you say is the biggest name that you've met, or that Mayor Faulconer has met, in the tenure of being first lady and him being mayor? I mean, because you met some pretty big people, obviously,
Yeah.
not just entertainment.
Political and entertainment.
Right,
Yeah.
but everyone.
I would say the person that I was the most nervous to meet was Oprah Winfrey.
No, you met Oprah.
Yes.
There they go.
Oh, there she is. Where was that at?
It was top secret. You weren't allowed to tell anybody. And she was at Stedman, works at National University.
Right.
He teaches a class,
Right.
government something.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he said, will you come to the school? And she was doing some sort of promotion.
Right.
And so we were all sworn to silence. There was probably 40 people in the room.
And they all got a Buick.
But I was so nervous. And it was so funny because it was like Jerry Sanders and his wife and all of these people. And every one of them, their wife dragged them there.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And even Oprah said, did you drag your husband here? Like she knows her audience is female.
That's so funny.
I remember one interaction that the mayor had with President Barack Obama at the time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
was it Miramar? Was that the airport?
He flew into Miramar.
There's a pretty interesting story about that, right?
Yes, there is, Sully.
Talk about that. 'Cause there's a picture of that. Because that in my life, this feels really good for me. Because, and interrupt me if I'm not saying this accurately, but he said hello to the president on the Miramar airstrip.
Yes.
And I think he had to fly, Kevin.
He was actually in Washington, D.C.
Right.
at, I think it was a chamber event, landed, had to go. He never allows his detail to do lights and sirens in any condition.
Right.
But he had to go meet the president and he was late from the airport. So they did lights and sirens all the way to Miramar, drove in, Kevin gets out of the car and the plane opens up. I mean, he was there literally in seconds.
Right on time.
So so he met him, and then you can tell the rest.
Well, so we were playing, and I'm not sure, I think Gary was actually with us that night. We were playing at Humphreys.
Your band, yeah.
The band was playing at Humphreys.
Yeah.
And Catherine had said, hey, you know what? We're just down the street. Why don't we come in and listen? So Catherine and a couple of friends came in, and apparently after you guys got there, they started charging a cover charge. Well, the mayor shows up. Doorman doesn't know who the mayor is. The guy had to pay $5 to come see me. Wow. Mayor paid a cover charge to see my band. It was awesome. Now has he met our current president Donald Trump? And has he? Has he had?
Yeah.
I remember.
That's amazing.
You know, Donald Trump loves blues. Let's see if Steve Poltz is playing any more blues. Steve?
Social distance to help with my existence. Need some logical assistance to account for least resistance. I'm feeling undesirous and no one wants to hire us. I learned every song by Miley Cyrus and all about coronavirus.
When we come back, I want to talk about One San Diego, which is something that is an unbelievable organization in San Diego. And also I want to talk about your restaurant events, because what you used to be able to do for a living pre-COVID was pretty impressive. And I want to see how you feel it's going to go. In the meantime, Burt Brion, the Burt Brion Band is going to take us out of here.
Don't we look good together? There's a reason that they watch all night long. Yeah, we'll turn heads forever. And tonight I'm gonna show you how. When I'm walking with you, I hear the room change. Baby, that's what you do. My baby don't play. Blame it on my comfort.
That's the Burt Brion Band, I'll tell you what. Burt, so where can people find you? Because I want you to come back and be the house band. I mean, honestly, you guys are amazing. And
Let's do it.
I mean, I played with each one of you separately, and for some reason, you never sounded as good as when you're playing all together there. So I don't have the common.
Where's the common thread?
Are you any gigs coming up? Any virtual stuff coming up for you yet?
Actually, hope to maybe do something here.
Well, anytime you want. You can come by anytime at the
BurtBrionBand.com.
100 Studios. Very good. BurtBrionBand.com.
Yeah.
Katherine Faulconer, First Lady, is our guest today. One San Diego, I've been to every one of your events that you've had there, and I think more people need to know about One San Diego because it's a terrific organization. And you really spearhead that. Talk about that.
Well, When Kevin ran for mayor the first time, his whole concept was One San Diego, meaning, you know, people to the south of the 8 should have the same benefits as people north of the 8, which is kind of the dividing line. And so he actually opened up his office, an office in Southeast San Diego. And the neighbors were just like, wow, no one's ever come down here to try to get votes. And that's honestly how he won. So we started the charity, and basically we would work with the mayor's office. So he would say, okay, this Malcolm X library needs 20 new computers. And then we would go out, and that's not something the city can buy. So we would go out, find the sponsors, find the money, buy the computers, and deliver them. So we were just kind of the philanthropic end of what the city does.
And it's kept going.
It's kept going, yeah.
Because more organizations have gotten involved with One San Diego. Now it's almost a service provider for the city of San Diego, the people that are in need. Which is
It's so big, it'll be called Two San Diego.
Yes, it will. Okay, so what many people don't know is that you are an event organizer. An event organizer of some note, actually, because we're talking about. We talked about street scene last week, and about you sort of do mini street scenes.
I do.
After street scene, right? Like you'll have like a big organization that comes up and you'll take off a couple of city blocks, and you have a company called Restaurant Events. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I started it in 25 years ago.
Okay.
And
when she was 3.
Right after the acting career with me.
After that, right after that. And so basically I came up with this concept. All the restaurants in the Gaslamp Quarter are small mom and pops. They were back in those days, like 96. And they didn't know much about the convention industry. So they actually got into a big brawl with the convention center because they were getting mad. They were going to sue the convention center because they didn't want the convention center to hold everybody captive. And the convention center was like, okay, well, if you have 2,000 people, it can't be in your restaurant. They need to be all together.
Yeah.
And so I had already had contracts and relationships with almost every restaurant in the Gaslamp. So the convention center called me and said, can you help get this group together and help them understand how this works? And so I got together with them and I said, hey, if we want an event for 5,000 people, we're going to use all the restaurants together and shut down the streets, and we will cater to these big groups. And that's how the concept came up.
Great.
And I did my first one in 1999. I averaged 8 to 10 a year. They're anywhere from 1,000 people to 12,000 is the largest I've done.
And have they changed because of the COVID thing? Because we're talking restaurants here.
Oh, no. I mean, the day Gavin Newsom said we're done, I got canceled all the way through the end of the year.
Right.
You know, it's interesting because 24% of our employee base here in San Diego is in the hospitality industry, and that means not only travel but restaurants and the waiters and waitresses and bartenders. But what people don't remember is, and you could attest to this because Keynote Speaking left.
Auctions.
Of course, every single event like that. I mean, the economic impact of events in our city like this is number 2 market driver in San Diego is tourism. You're right in the middle of that. So what does 2021 look like for you? Are there things being booked?
I have a ton of bookings, but can I execute?
Right.
That's the question.
So they're reserving the time, but we don't know.
Yeah, and right now there's a special event coalition that's been working with supervisors and with the governor's office and just have gotten no direction. They're just saying, give us the rules of the road so when we can do it, we're ready to go on day one.
Right.
It doesn't take us a year to put it together and just,
We're being held hostage.
yes.
Well, the other piece of this too is for you, especially like at restaurants, when you start up again, it's like a startup. You have to start up every time like for example, when a restaurant gets shut down and starts, it's not like the food's going to hold over.
No.
Right.
It's not like your talent is not going to get booked or your people are not going to get booked. It's like you're doing a startup every time. So that's got to be way more frustrating because of.
I just look forward to that frustration.
I know.
Give me something to do. Yeah.
Katherine Faulconer, our first lady. Will you please come back with us?
Of course.
Come hang out here all the time. Yeah, it's great to have
Will you remember us when you're in Sacramento?
Well, maybe not you. Hey, Burt Brion, will you come back with us also and play us out for the day, would you, pal?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it.
Little bird. Could go on.
Jerry Garcia made my own tortillas. So yeah.